my battalion commander, who I served with in Iraq at Camp Bucca in 2003, Col TJ Farrell.
Mayor Sawicki, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, families, friends, and distinguished guests. Good morning, and thank you for inviting my wife, Maria, and I to today's most hallowed ceremony on this Memorial Day. It is both an honor and a privilege to be here speaking with you today. Most importantly, it is a time to reflect on our fallen heroes of wars gone by. In his speech at Gettysburg, Abraham Lincoln's words that day focused on the loss of life during the Civil War and the higher cause for which their lives were given. His words still echo today with the global war on terrorism and all other past wars. I would like to read an excerpt from his address, and I quote, "That from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth." President Lincoln's charge was to ensure that the course to which each soldier gave their life would not be lost, and that the Union, which he himself had given to preserve, protect, and defend, would grow even stronger. We here on this Memorial Day are to do just that, to echo the feelings of President Lincoln, to make sure that we respectfully and humbly recognize each life that was lost in war. That each life that was lost brings us closer to the cause that we are defending. That each survivor of those wars has a story to tell, a story like no other. Though painful to tell, they do so that other generations that are to follow can understand and ensure that the horrors of these wars will never happen again. To the fallen, we honor you here today. Preserve, protect, and defend is what Warrant Officer Ronald Bucca did on September 11, 2001. He answered the call to duty without hesitation. While serving as fire marshal for the New York City Fire Department, he ran up to the 78th floor of the burning World Trade Center. He made it 2/3 of the way up the tower and went further than any other rescue team. He helped hundreds of people make their way down the tower and saved many lives. Unfortunately, Warrant Officer Bucca did not make it out of the tower before it collapsed. 1 month later, they found his remains in the same stairwell where he had helped innocent civilians climb down to safety. In 2003, the largest POW facility in U.S. history, located in southern Iraq, was named from Camp Freddy to Camp Bucca in his honor as tribute to the only fire marshal killed in the line of duty on September 11th. I am both honored and humbled that I had the opportunity to command that facility that carried his name, that exemplified the sacrifice and bravery of Warrant Officer Ronald Bucca and the many soldiers that followed after him. Preserve, protect, and defend is what Sergeant Darren Potter did on September 29, 2009. While on a 4-vehicle patrol near Abu Ghraib prison, his patrol came under attack by enemy mortar rounds. Trying to outrun the mortar rounds, his vehicle went out of control and plunged into a canal. While his vehicle rolled into the canal, Sergeant Potter escaped from the sinking vehicle and made sure all of his fellow soldiers made it to safety. Unfortunately, Sergeant Potter was swept away by the currents and drowned. He was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star for his bravery and a Purple Heart. Both of these soldiers, like many others, without hesitation or concern for their own safety, went to help others who were in distress and gave the ultimate sacrifice. John 15:13 states, "There is no greater love than to lay down your life for one's friends." We are here today to honor our heroes who had a clear vision before them and knew of the risk, yet still went forward to meet the challenge. We are here to remember their achievements, their courage and dedication, and to say thank you. These service members that we honor here today came from all walks of life, but they all shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty and integrity, all of the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. They rose to the nation's call without hesitation because they wanted to protect a nation that gave themselves and us so much. As Americans, we should commemorate their lives not as the fallen, but as the revered. All of us are living testament for what these brave men and women died for. It is our moral duty and obligation to tell their stories to our children and our children's children so that their legacy never fades or becomes tarnished. That is why, on this Memorial Day, we give tribute to our brave men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice, for we can never repay them for their selfless service to us and our nation. Each of them has become the guardian who keeps the beacon of freedom alive. That is why we are called the land of the free and the home of the brave. My West Point alma mater said it best, and when our work is done, our course on earth is run, may it be said, well done, be thou at peace. I salute you and thank you. God bless the United States of America.